Hello, I'm Councillor David Thomas, leader of the council here in Torbay. We're in the middle of our consultation process regarding LGR. The council's full of acronyms, isn't it? Local Government Reorganisation. And we've had a number, we've had literally hundreds of questions, and we've tried to put some of the questions together, and over a series of videos we want to give you some of the answers to the questions that you are raising. If you haven't actually had an opportunity yet to fill in the survey, you have until the end of August, the 31st of August, to do that. Pop along to the website, the link is below, and I'd love to hear your voice. One of the questions that everyone's asking us at the moment is, what are the timelines? What exactly is happening when and where? So there have been some dates that have been announced from government. The first one, the key one, is the 28th of November of this year. And that is when all local authorities need to provide their final submissions to government. And then the other two key dates really go to the back end of the process. The 1st of April 2028, and that is when the new unitary councils will go live. That's known as vesting day. However, 1 year before that, in May 2027, there will be elections to those new councils. And I guess finally, we're expecting government to make their decision in about spring 2026. So first one to look out for, November 28th of this year, and council will make its final decision the week before that, before we submit those papers to government. Affordable housing is something that we've had a lot of questions about on the feedback, and I guess that's because as a council, as Torbay Council, we have a real focus on providing affordable homes. Ultimately, everyone needs somewhere to live. All local authorities across the country have housing figures that are set by government, and included in that figure is a percentage of affordable housing that is needed to be provided. That number changes in the percentage terms, whether it's a brownfield site or whether it's a greenfield site. And so across the whole of Devon, there are affordable homes being built, but not kind of with the same focus that we have in Torbay. We know that Torbay Council area is the most deprived council within the southwest, and therefore affordable housing is understandably more acute requirements in Torbay than in any other parts of Devon. Being smaller, we're able to amplify that voice within Torbay, and we're able to focus on some of the things that our residents are looking for. Another one of the questions that's dominating the feedback is regarding council tax. People want to know where are we in terms of any new unitary. What would Torbay's council tax look like? Well, at the moment, Torbay's council tax is the lowest across Devon. And that means there's only one way. As they say, the only way is up. And if we were to become, let's say, part of Devon, there would be a rationalisation programme. Government have announced that we would have 7 years to complete that rationalisation programme. So you need to consider it almost like as a ladder, being able to go from where we are to the new costs, which would be taking part over 7 years. And I think that's primarily the biggest, or one of the biggest concerns from a financial point of view that our residents are asking us. We know that our green spaces, our countryside, and even our coastal areas are much loved places. And to be honest, it's what makes Torbay unique within its natural environment. It's one of the things that we absolutely all love about living here in Torbay. And so for a Torbay unitary, clearly one of our focuses is on that natural environment. Our concerns are the larger the council goes, there can't be that same focus to the same extent within this small area of Torbay. And so, you know, I'm not going to say that everything's going to suddenly disappear with regards to physical and green space, but we've got local plans and local neighbourhood plans where our communities have allocated those green spaces, and we are keen to protect them as much as our residents are. Regeneration is a massive buzzword in Torbay. We have worked incredibly hard to get to the position that we're at. Over £400 million worth of projects across the whole of Torbay, which is fantastic. It's a once in a generation approach to regeneration, and we don't want that to fail. We want to get those regeneration schemes across the line because they mean so much more than just shiny buildings. It's about jobs, it's about opportunities, it's about homes. And the concern really is, against a wider Devon, would we get £400 million spent in Torbay when we're competing against every other town in Devon? Are we going to get £400 million spent in Torbay? I think it's going to be very, very difficult to win that argument. If there was that kind of money available, I can see it being spent, understandably, across every single town and village in Devon, which means Torbay wouldn't have £400 million worth of investment. It may have £20 million. So for me, this is our biggest risk to a single Devon approach. Council representation, how many will there be? Great question. And some residents will say, well, we'll get rid of a whole load. Brilliant. And I don't know the honest answer to the question. We have 36 councillors in Torbay. If we were part of Devon, there would be some significant reductions. What do reductions mean for our communities? Well, basically at the moment, a councillor in Torbay looks after about 3,500 residents. In Devon, that number would probably be something between 7,500 and 10,000. What does that mean for Torbay? Well, from the current 36 councillors that we have, we'd probably be heading, and I need to guess this, probably need to be heading somewhere between 10 and 18, I would imagine. And it's how that voice is then being able to be represented across the whole of Devon. We do know with Torbay Council, as we are, with 36 councillors, all of different colours, but absolutely all with Torbay at their heart. It makes a difference. So we've tried to answer some of your questions in this video, and I hope you're a little bit more informed. Clearly, we've not been able to answer all of the questions. There's far too many, but we have picked out some of probably the top 6 lots of questions. If you've asked a question, you probably find out the answer to that in our FAQs. There we go, another acronym. Frequently asked questions on our website. So head over to the torbay.gov.uk website, have a little look for our FAQs on local government reorganisation, and I'm sure your question will be answered there. Until next time, take care.